Hey everybody, welcome back to homerecordingmadeeasy.com, and here on my YouTube channel, and this time out, we're going to take a look at the new Waves SSL channel strip. This is the EV2. This is their updated version of the channel strip that they did about 15 or 20 years ago. This is a new updated version with some additional features and some more accuracy because the technology is better modeling these kinds of consoles and pieces of analog gear. So we're going to take a listen to this on a bunch of different sources. I'm going to give you my thoughts and let you know what I think of the sound of this. But before we get to that, if you like what you're seeing in this video, please hit that subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so you know when I post new content. Also, if this is your first time here, I want you to go out to homerecordingmadeeasy.com. I want to give you a free mixing course. That's right. It's right on the homepage. Big orange button. You can't miss it. It's my gift to you just for visiting homerecordingmadeeasy.com. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to give you something else for free. So stick around and check this out. So here we are in Studio One with the new Waves Solid State Logic EV2. And it's been out now as of the recording of this video. I'm not quite sure when you'll see this on YouTube, but it's been out probably a week or so. And I've been kind of holding off doing a review on it because everyone, the day the plugin drops, everyone's got to do a video. And then everyone's got to compare it to every other channel strip on the planet. And I'm not going to do that this time because I've done lots of SSL channel strip comparisons between the different plugin manufacturers. They're all on YouTube. You can go check them out. Here's the thing. And since those videos, between the time I did all those comparisons between Plugin Alliance, Universal Audio, the original Waves one, the SSL native Waves, and I'm sure there's others, the CLA Mix-Up and all those other ones, between the time that I recorded those videos and today when I'm recording this video, I have an SSL. It's sitting over my shoulder there. You might be able to see it. Some of you may know about it. I have a brand new SSL Origin, which is based loosely on the SSL 4000, which is what this channel strip is modeled after. So now that I own an SSL and I've worked on it a lot, I am very, very familiar and can give you firsthand opinion of whether this channel strip sounds like an SSL or doesn't it. And I can tell you, spoiler alert, it does. It has that SSL sound. It sounds very similar to what I do when I mix analog. Is it exactly the same as the console? No. Is it really close? Does it have that vibe? Yes, it does. So to compare it to a bunch of other channel strips, really, you could go watch other videos if you want to see that. Comparing it to the one from 15 years ago, to me, is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. It ought to sound better than that because it's 15 years later or whenever it was done. So, but this has a couple of extra things in it that the original didn't have because the technology and the way they used to model stuff wasn't the same as it is today. And I mean that in a good way. So first, let's take a look at this. Now, before we even do that, if you want to know some of the differences, like, you know, I love to do this with you guys, like to break out the manual. Let's read the manual a little bit here. I made some I highlighted a couple areas so we can kind of get a feel for what we're dealing with. So this is the SSL EV2. This is based on the classic solid state 4000 console, right? Just like my Origin is based on that loosely. And so that's what this is based on. And so let's talk about that. So on this one, we have a couple of different features that weren't part of the original channel strip. We have the inclusion of two EQ circuits, the black knob and the brown knob. And let me show you that quickly on the screen here if you don't know what that is. So right here at the top of the EQ section, we have the brown and the black, which changes the low frequency EQs. You can see the knobs change. That wasn't part of the original. Now the difference between the brown and the black is the brown is going to have, and we can see it in the manual here if you want to read up on it, the brown has a wider Q, okay? It's considered better suited for when you're just trying to shape things with gentle curves. Where the black has a more narrower Q, it's a little bit more where you want to do some more, more accurate or more fine boosting or cutting is where you kind of have the black EQ. They sound completely different. They do sound different. On my console, I have the black EQ. Some people would say the brown sounds a little more musical because it's a little bit more gentler curves and it has a little bit more of a softer sound, for lack of a better word, where the black is a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more pokey sounding. Take that for what it's worth. You have both in the channel strip. Okay? This channel strip has been done in partner with SSL. The original was released in 2006, so we're in 2021. So I don't know, what's that, 15 years or so? I don't know, do the math, but it's been a long time. Okay, so that's what's kind of going on there. So we have the brown and the brown and the black EQ. Now, if we start at the top of the channel strip here, we have our mic pre section. We also have an analog button, and the analog models the input and output transformer of a console, which the first one had, I think, an analog switch, but it was a different type of just adding noise to the circuit, where this is a little bit more accurate and it has a little bit more drastic effect. Okay, and if you read the manual, it talks about the analog circuit. I think I went ahead and I highlighted it so you kind of understood what it does here. Let's read it directly from the manual. A lot of times people are afraid to read the manual. I don't know why, but you shouldn't be. I think it's up here towards the preamp section. Let's just scroll up here and check it out so we know exactly what it's doing here. Okay, analog adds harmonic distortion, which is a key element to recreating the sound of an analog mixing console. If the analog control is off, the line and mic controls will act as a pure gain. No total harmonic distortion will be added. If you prefer a cleaner, more modern sound, turn the processing off, meaning turn off that analog button if you want a more modern, cleaner sound. Okay, now also down here there's a little note so you understand a little bit more about how this reacts. The total harmonic distortion is added in the input stage as well as the output stage. The same behavior as an SSL 4000 mixing desk, okay? Turning it off removes the THD, total harmonic distortion, from both the input and the output transformers, okay? It also removes these from the CPU, which will give you better performance, and you'll be able to use more of these across your tracks if you're not using the analog, okay? So the analog circuit is much like on my Origin. I have a drive circuit, which when you use the drive circuit and you push the preamp a little bit, you get that total harmonic distortion. And on one track singularly, it doesn't make as much of a difference. It's an accumulative effect thing. And on my console, I use the drive circuit on every single channel. Even if I'm just touching it a little bit, just add a little bit of that harmonic distortion, a little bit of color. When you do it across 32 channels, it makes a big difference. Same thing when you're using plugins, okay? So that's what we have here that wasn't part of the first channel strip. Okay, we have our compression section down here, which is just like you would on the original plugin. We have a gate section down here. We have our filter section down in the left-hand corner. In the center, we have our two EQ types, as I talked about before. We have our high frequency in red, high mids in green, low mids in blue, lows in black, just like the other plugin. We also have this little addition called this listen, and what that allows you to do is if you engage the listen and then you click on the frequency on any one of the bands, it will solo up so you could just hear that band, which is kind of cool. That wasn't part of the original either. Great if you want to isolate and solo a track and find some nasty frequencies. That's a really good way to do it. Okay, you can bypass the EQ here. You can put it pre or post dynamics. And then let's see, we have our output fader here. We have our meters, which look a little bit different than the original channel strip. We have our input and output meters here, and that is it. And that is it. It's a nice little channel strip. It's rearranged the way the original was as well. The original had the EQ on the left and the dynamics in the center. This one has it dynamics on the left, EQ on the center. Okay, so it's just rearranged a little bit different. So what I did is I quickly dialed this in and EQ'd stuff across a drum kit, a bass guitar, a piano, and 2 acoustic guitars. Okay, simple. So let's just listen to what this sounds like before. Here's before, what the audio with no waves channel strip. Here we go. Okay, we'll bring it in now. 3, 4. Okay, so it sounds wonderful. Does it sound like an SSL? Yes, it does. I can say that with absolute certainty because, again, I own an SSL. It does sound like that. Oddly enough, and I don't have it set up for this video, but you could go back. I used the same exact session, the same exact tracks you're listening to when I just did, today I did it, but it'll be on YouTube at a different time. The new KIT Neve, the BB105, the Blackbird Studios Neve console, their version 2, I just did that video right before I reset it for this video, and I can tell you, using the same exact tracks, using the Neve, the BB105, and now using the SSL, totally different sound, completely different sound. Go check out that video in the archive. You'll check that out and you'll see it, where this sounds completely different. This has that SSL vibe, and I love it. I love SSL. I own one. I love it. It's got a real thick, warm, familiar sound, and it's why I love SSL so much. Again, does it sound better than the original? The original sounded good. This sounds a little bit more, I would say a little bit warmer sounding to me than the original. And I think that has to do with the analog circuit across all the tracks. I wish there was a way to group just the analog circuit so you could turn all the instances of the plugin on and off with the analog to hear the difference. You can't do that. But that to me is what, or it's just because they've gotten better at modeling the desk, because again, it's newer technology and their methods are a lot more accurate and a lot better than what it was in 2006. That could be part of it as well. Where I could tell you that the original channel stripper, although it sounded good, now having an SSL myself doesn't remind me of my console as much as this one does. I'll just say that. How this compares to all the other channel strips that are on the market, all the other plugin manufacturers SSL, they're all going to be similar in the way they sound. Is one really better than another? Not really. They're all horses for courses. They're all modeled on different physical consoles, and all those consoles are going to sound a little bit different, but they all have that SSL flavor. So pick your favorite weapon and just use it. Do you need to have all of them? No, I have them all because of what I do. I educate. Is this an upgrade, a good upgrade from the first original one? If you have the original one in your collection, I would say yes, it is. I think if you have the original, I think as of the recording of this video, this is $25. It's worth $25 all day long to upgrade it. Yes, it does. As far as if you don't have the original, how much is this? I'm not really sure. You'd have to look on their website, but I would say it's a good SSL channel strip. It really is. And they're not paying me to say this. I bought this with my own money. I have no relationship with Wave whatsoever, so I don't care whether you buy it or not. I'm just telling you that it sounds good. I put it on par with the CLA Mix Hub by Waves. Again, I bought that one myself. That also, which was modeled on Chris Lord Alge's desk, and that's a relatively new plugin for them. So my guess is the methods of the way they modeled this plugin versus that one. That's another really great SSL plugin by them with a bunch of different features that's not part of this bucket view and the way you can view it and such. You can check that out on my website. That also sounds much like my SSL Origin. So again, for what it's worth, I think it's really good. I think if you have the original and you're thinking about upgrading, it's worth $30 all day long. I think it sounds good. Yes, it sounds like an SSL console. That's for sure. And that's it. So if you want to go see all of my other SSL plugin demos, you could go check them out on the archive. I'm not going to compare these to all the other ones. You could do that yourself. You could demo all of these for free, and you could go check out all the different manufacturers and find the one you like. But I think what you'll find is they all sound very similar. It's just, what do you like? And so this is a good plugin. I'm glad to see Waves finally updated their SSL channel strip. It is very, very cool. So let's listen to it one more time, and we'll bypass them all, and we'll bring them all in here, and you could hear what the difference is. So there you go. So that is the Waves EV2 SSL channel strip. Great job, Waves. I really like it. Go check it out for yourself if you'd like. Now, I want to thank you for watching this entire video. As I said at the beginning of the video, at least I think I did. If I didn't say it, hey, if this is your first time here, I want you to go to homerecordingmadeeasy.com because I want to give you a free mixing course worth $100. It's my gift to you just for visiting homerecordingmadeeasy.com. And if you take that course, and you should because it's free and you'll learn a lot, especially if you're someone new to mixing and you dig my style of teaching and you want to check out one of my other training courses on the website, one of my paid training courses, I want to give you a discount of 25% off any course on the website. Just use the coupon code YouTube25 and that'll do that for you. All the information will be in the description box below. And until the next video, I've been Dave with HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.